Zapraszamy na...
We invite you to the third series of our program, Eat Wisely, Know What You Eat. These are programs devoted to healthy food, healthy eating, but they are not dominated by culinary recipes. We are looking for interesting examples, interesting initiatives to create shopping baskets, cooperatives and other forms which link together producers and consumers. We will meet interesting people and look at interesting initiatives that connect farmers, producers and consumers who are looking for fresh, tasty food of guaranteed quality. To start with, however, we have to go back to March, to the start of the virus pandemic, which in a single instant disrupted our everyday life.
Codzienność, uderzając także w rolników.
There are no schools, no catering, hotels are closed, and as are farmers' markets, so there's no production. We have been standing for practically a month. We have stopped selling. If it turns out that there will be no farmers' markets and no selling opportunities to the end of the year, then we'll have a huge problem because our product is seasonal. We sell it in great quantities before Christmas. If we don't sell in the run-up to Christmas, then we'll lose a whole year's income. The pandemic has created a situation which has disrupted, above all, local markets. That is to say, those which are often functioning in a less formal way. The industrialized markets, the supermarkets to which we are accustomed, have been functioning properly all the time. We closed farmers' markets, not large supermarkets. Therefore, it is precisely this disruption that has occurred that creates new opportunities for innovation. Organizational innovation first and foremost on how to increase sales volumes for farmers, how to involve more consumers in regular purchases directly from farmers. When the pandemic broke out, there was perhaps a week or two of fear, and our regular customers didn't come. There were restrictions in place and people could not leave their houses. But after some time, people got used to things. They started to come to buy. Yes, wearing masks and gloves. Everyone adapted, but they started coming, and they're still coming today. We have many more orders. The orders are also larger. We had to organize additional days and additional services in the form of home delivery. There is one conclusion of all this. There is confidence in food when it is clear who produces it and where it is produced. There is recognition that it does not pass through tens or hundreds of hands. Interest in locally produced food has grown enormously, and it is now valued much more. This is why customers have turned to this kind of purchasing. I think that this is the case not only in our Liczki basket, but also in other similar initiatives, especially those who have built up trust with customers. We have had a positive experience during the pandemic because people did not want to have too much contact with shops. So we had orders, for example, by telephone. We prepared packages for delivery or collection. A lady would leave money in an envelope under a stone. Surprisingly, when the pandemic came, more people started to get interested in our products. But farmers' markets were closed down, restaurants were closed down. This was a big blow to us, but it brought us closer to customers in our surroundings here, individual customers. We see that this period of closure and isolation has also a positive face. For example, the fact is that people have appreciated this unexpected free time. They appreciate the opportunity to come to us here in the incubator. Quite a few people come here to pick up their purchases. They order directly by telephone or online, and that is very good. Everything has slowed down, and it is time to rethink things. Today we need investment in organizers of shorter food chains. These investments can be in new financial and IT products that enable direct selling. The idea is to transfer the whole process of buying to the internet. The whole challenge is with organizing the market for locally produced food in a collective and inclusive way, because not every farmer is able to do these things on their own.
Tworzenie koszyków czy
Creating buyers clubs is also a search for organizations that want to take on the task of creating groups of consumers and producers who are looking for new ways of selling and buying their product. This may seem straightforward, but it is by no means so. The local government has an important role to play here, and in the case of our program we will take a closer look at the local government in Kamienna Góra, which has taken on the role of organizing local farmers and food producers and linking them to customers.
i lokalnych przedsiębiorców.
Inkubator powinien pobudzić.
The incubator was created by the local government to stimulate entrepreneurship and new initiatives. There are new opportunities when a group, like a group of farmers and producers, gets organized into an association or a formal group. In our project, this will provide a basis for building a local food brand. We will build a local market for locally produced food that does not really exist at the moment.
A jeżeli istnieje, jest bardzo rozproszony.
Na tych pierwszych spotkaniach
At the first meeting of producers organized by the incubator, we were told that we would have an IT application. This application will tell us how much to prepare and deliver in response to orders. If there is interest, for example, in me delivering 20 kilograms of beet within a certain period of time, it will be my problem to organize this. I will be able to deliver as long as I have enough stock. I have time to plan and prepare so that the interested customer who wants to have fresh can get fresh. He will buy directly from us. The IT application will make it easier and quicker for us as producers to connect with consumers. There will be no intermediaries who often spoil things. In the hands of intermediaries, our vegetables lose their value and firmness if they're not sold straight away. I have enough surface area to sow, and once again sow. But what we need is customers and more customers. An online local market will make things much easier.
Jak pan przedstawił mi zakres tej platformy.
The scope of the IT platform is great. I think the idea is very good. It is simply a step into the future, to a modern world. We will have a form of internet shopping. That's cool. I think it will generate a lot of interest.
No fajne, wydaje mi się, że powinno mieć to duże zainteresowanie.
Sam inkubator wykazał się inicjatywą.
The incubator has taken on the initiative to look for new producers and to organize them into a group to take things forward. Mr. Wańczek asked me and persuaded me to come to the first meeting. I went. I think this is a very positive kind of future. Why not try? We have no problem with sales at the moment. However, the main disadvantage comes when it comes to price. When we sell to an intermediary, the food chains get longer. There are more and more intermediaries. We want to sell directly from farmer to customer. Then the whole process is much shorter. We will also be satisfied because we will not have to wait and adapt to a buyer who dictates the conditions but buys everything we have.
Dlatego, że jest potentatem i odbiera całość wyprodukowanej jagnięciny. Największym atutem tego przedsięwzięcia.
The greatest advantage of this project is that producers sell their products directly to customers. That is to say, the price they determine will almost entirely go into their pockets. Of course, minus the costs of managing the project. But the function of the classic intermediary disappears. This is what makes the project attractive to producers. We now have around 17 legally functioning food producers who are organizing themselves into a group. We hope that the group will register as an association and we can move forward within a couple of months.
W końcu będzie mogła przejść do działania.
Przykład Kamiennej Góry porozumienia.
The example of Kamienna Góra shows that agreement of a dozen or so farmers to work together is possible and that the local government has an important role to play. What is happening here has been inspired by the Wrocław University of Life Sciences. Professor Marian Kachniarz has been following this project.
Jakby się mogło wydawać?
Potrzebne jest wsparcie takie instytucjonalne. Ktoś musi to wspierać, ktoś musi animować to działanie, ktoś musi budować właśnie tą sieć.
Organizing local markets requires organizational support. Someone must do the organizing. Someone has to animate the activities and give a push to those involved. Somebody has to build up a very social network of farmers, but also of other producers and customers. Here in Kamienna Góra, following discussions with the mayor and the director of the incubator, it was the local government that has taken on this role. The local government is playing the function of a market organizer for locally produced food. In other parts of the country, we know there are other models being implemented.
Stworzyć taki model, który gdyby nam się udało.
For example, with agricultural advisory centres taking on this market organising role. Here, however, the main organiser is the municipality. We want to create a model of good practice for other municipalities so that it can be replicated in other places across the country. I am sure other local governments will be interested in such an initiative. One problem is that of organisational or institutional innovation. How to organize this, with what support, who is to play the animating role, who is to be the initiator. This is one thing. The second thing relates to technology. Experience with other initiatives of this kind across the country has also shown this. There must also be technological innovation. The point here is to find IT solutions which replace intermediaries. The need is to eliminate intermediaries not only in the food chain from producer to consumer, but also in the flow of financial settlements. The need is to organize things in such a way that financial settlements can be settled between consumer and producer without intermediaries. Simply put, what's needed here is an IT solution that enables communication and transfer of funds between producers and consumers directly. The first innovation is that of organization and the second is that of IT.
Druga innowacja. Pierwsza to jest instytucjonalna, druga to jest innowacja informatyczna.